Welcome back. Female designers have significantly influenced the dynamics of design innovation and the trends within the design industry. Historically underrepresented in many creative fields, women have increasingly become leaders, shaping the aesthetics, the functionality and the inclusiveness of design across various sectors, including fashion, graphic design, industrial design and interior design. Well, designer and founder of studio Kalki Ceramics Nindya Bucktowar and the Vassen sisters, founders at Ananta design studio Viveka and Rucita Vassen, were showing at this year's Decorex, and they join us via Zoom to talk about design trends. Ladies, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning.
Great stuff. Ninda, I'm going to start with you. As a successful female designer, how do you think women sort of influence the field of ceramics compared to their male counterparts?
I've had these questions many times. Actually, I think there is obviously the relationship that a woman will have with the earth versus the relationship that a man will have with the earth. But I think there's very much equal representation. If you look at the leading ceramicists in the country, I can think of equal amount of males and equal amount of females. Actually, the Anna Award was won by a ceramicist. The Anna Award is the Latitudes Award. And so yeah, I think there's like definitely the different relationship we have with clay, but there is very much equal representation, yeah.
I'm actually so mortified that in 2024, we're still making comparisons between, male and female artists. And this shouldn't be. I was just telling my colleague that, and the fact that we still use the tag female designer, it shouldn't be, because we are attaching gender weights not supposed to be attached. So having said that, what specific challenges have you then faced as a woman in the ceramics design industry, and how have you overcome them?
I think in terms of the ceramic industry itself, I think it has embraced me. The community embraced me. I haven't really experienced any challenges, but the challenges come, I'm in industrial ceramics and it involves setting up a factory, dealing with a very harsh environment, being in industrial areas, which is very different to if you had to be in office, for example. So it's very much on your face. But like when I started Kalki Ceramics, I was alone. My partner was obviously handling the administrative side, but he was still working at the office, and I was basically physically setting up the factory on my own with two of my staff. And I met a lot of challenges, but the way I saw it, especially after speaking to other women in the industry, they were like, these are all distraction. As a woman, there's always going to be pressures around, who you are, they're always going to be pressures, but you have to be so focused and not let this distraction actually be in the way of you building a successful business. So when I got this piece of information from the community, I was just like, actually get out of my way. I just need to set up a successful business and create a sustainable community. And that made me so focused and also proud of what I was creating.
Fair point. I take that. Now, Viveka and Rucita, let me also bring you into this conversation. What motivated each of you ladies, to start or pursue a career in design? And how has your experience as designers shaped your path?
We are South African with Indian heritage, and looking at some similarities between the two cultures, they are both so vibrant, full of color, print and community, and we want to bring those values into our designs.
And in your view, how has the representation of female designers changed in the industry over the years, and what more can be done?
We've seen so much more women leading the way, becoming change makers, and it's been so inspiring for us. Women are supporting women. It's become such an exciting design landscape, and we think it's just going to get better and better.
Right. Now, Nindya, how do you perceive the collaboration, among female designers? Do you think it fosters a unique creative environment?
Absolutely. I think, whenever I see a woman-led brand, for example, like the hat I'm wearing, it's Crystal Birch, and I just get so excited around the idea that this is like a firecracker woman, and just besides, all the odds of the challenges of the industry, this woman is leading this incredible community. So I think in terms of I've done a few collaborations, and I recently did a collaborative show at Decorex, and it's just so beautiful to see what we can put together. And it's generally like an incredibly harmonious environment, an incredibly supportive environment. And I know Team Ananta very well, obviously, and just to see them grow, and of course we're going to collaborate. So it's very exciting to actually be able to do this with female peers in the industries.
And how is sustainability influencing, the design choices you make at Kalki Ceramics? Are there any specific trends heading in this direction?
So in terms of sustainability, that's a broad question. So there's a relationship that we have with the environment. That is the sustainability that everybody knows about, how green is your factory, but also to get to a level where all your processes are 100% green, especially in ceramics, you need a lot of capital to do that. So we are in the process, but there's always a work in progress for that. And every different field will have a different shape, what sustainability is. But what I've been thinking about sustainability lately, that word, I refer to it as the community I'm creating. I'm creating a sustainable community. And how sustainable is my business in terms of finances? Is it going to survive another COVID period? All of these kind of idea of sustainability is obviously to create something that in the long term is extremely beneficial for the community, for the environment, for the economy, and all of that.
Right, right. Now, Viveka, what changes have you noticed in consumer preferences in recent years, and how do you adapt your designs to meet these trends?
People are definitely more conscious of their purchases. They want to know where things are made, how they're made. So it's the whole story, and as designers, we have to cater to this. We have to change the way we work. We have to be transparent. So it's about transparency, honesty, being inclusive, sharing who your makers are, and the full story.
And Rucita, any specific aesthetic trends in design that you believe are becoming prevalent today, and how do you integrate them into your work?
I think a big trend is material use. There's a lot of repurposing of waste materials, incorporating biomaterials like seaweed. In fashion, there's a lot of natural fiber use. Okay. And I think across the board, there's a lot more integration between different design disciplines, which produces a more innovative and completely out-of-the-box solutions. So that's a very exciting thing in the design space. And for us at Ananta, it's about working with different materials, experimenting with our crafters and our craft communities to see how we can reimagine traditional craft techniques like beadwork, wirework, and see how we can push them beyond their current forms to create something completely new and exciting, and something that people can have an emotional connection with. That's a big part of our brand.
And just considering the techniques that I've just mentioned and looking ahead, what trends do you envision will sort of shape the design industry in the next few years, especially for female designers?
I think, like I said, the biomaterials, seaweed, those kind of things.
All right. Now, Nindya, let's talk about, from your vantage point, how is technology changing the landscape of ceramics design, and what trends do you foresee as a result?
So the material itself, lends to a very, almost intuitive way of working with it. There are certain things that, like when you're dealing with the elements, you are working with the elements, and that's technology, that the first base technology that you always look at. And we are currently developing these incredible systems for extrusion to create profiles that's, unprecedented kind of profile to create these living ceramic surfaces. And I think in terms of glaze technology and how do you develop a clay that can take that doesn't limit itself to a certain size, because every country has their own type of clay, and for example in America there are clay that you can really push the limit in terms of size. And I'm actually investigating with my research and development, how do we create a type of clay that's a lot more, less susceptible to like cracks and all of that kind of thing. So it's very exciting to actually lead that front. And the research development is like my favorite part of the business.
Right. Nindya, Viveka and Rucita, thanks to you three ladies for joining us. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, designer and founder of Kalki Ceramics Nindya Bucktowar and the Vassen sisters, founders at Ananta Design Studio, Viveka and Rucita Vassen, were showing at this year's Decorex, talking to us about the design industry and the design trends.